Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I'm going to show you how to boost your gaming performance on Samsung Galaxy A26. Let's begin! So, first of all, let's actually show ourselves the FPS, or frames per second, because not many people actually know how to showcase it on your phone. They tend to know how to do that on a PC, or a console, maybe not a console, but it's usually the feature that you want to enable on your PC or a laptop or something like that, but you can actually enable it on your phone also. So let's go. So first of all, we want to go to the settings and scroll all the way down. Here we want to go to About Phone. We want to go to the software information. And here we have the build number. We want to click the build number a couple of times. And now we want to allow development settings. So we hit OK. And now we can actually leave it. And here, right at the bottom, developer options are now seen. We want to go into developer options. And now we want to scroll down, scroll for a moment, and see an option that will allow us to see the few things. Oh, here, show refresh rate. You want to enable it because now we can see the current refresh rate. We can see that it's a pretty smooth 120 Hz. However, in some games, this number will go down. And if we go up, we have the ability to disable default frame rate for games. As you can see, the limiting, the base limit, I believe the default limit is 60 Hz. You want to make sure that you have this setting disabled, otherwise, no matter what we will do, your games will run at 60 Hz anyway. So now, after we have actually showcased our refresh rate, we want to leave it. Now we want to scroll down a little, go to Advanced Features. Here we want to go to Game Booster Settings, and in the Game Booster Settings we want to, well, we'll stay here for the rest of the video basically, because in this section right here we can see every single option that is cool for changing the optimization, for changing the refresh rate for individual games also, and every single game related setting you can find. So let's get over it. First of all, we have the base game optimization. Currently, it's set to balanced. We can click it, and we will see we can switch between performance or the battery saver, or also the balance. It's pretty self-explanatory. If we switch to battery saver, then games will run at lower refresh rates, with lower quality, with lower basically everything else. However, it will improve our battery time. If we switch to balance, then it will be something between the two. And the last thing, the last thing is the performance mode, which will basically boost up everything in cost of your battery, of course, but that's to be expected if you want to smooth your experience. Then we have customizations for individual games. So obviously we want to switch to performance, customizations for individual games. Unfortunately, as you can see, I am not a real gamer. I'm just a poor mobile gamer which only has, you know, Monopoly Go. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. But anyway, here you should be able to see the list of all your games. That should be right here. Of course, it is not, there's no list because we only have one game. But if you would want to only boost up the performance in one specific game and, for example, leave the other to be casual, so you know they're not wasting that much battery, we can always click the game that we want to choose, and here we can enable the game optimization option. So we can set something custom. For example, we want to, okay, let's play for a moment and let's pretend that Monopoly Go is actually like Call of Duty Mobile or something. Okay, you can do that. Cool. So now let's believe that this is Call of Duty. We will switch to the performance, meaning that even though, we want to save the option first. So even though if we, for example, switch to battery saver here, so in theory, every single game we have on our phone will run slower, will run a little bit more worse, but you know, battery will be happy about it. The Call of Duty will be, as you can see, it's customized, the performance is customized, and it won't obey under the battery saver settings. Instead, it will be switched to the performance. Then we can have the FPS, frames per second. If we enable this limit, then, well, it's the 20, so obviously we want to boost it all the way up to the 60, because not many games actually support 120. It depends on the game, and mostly it has to do with the fact that mobile gaming isn't very good. Like 120 Hz is a pretty good setting and pretty good result if you are a PC gamer or even console one, though consoles do tend to struggle a bit. But for example, the Nintendo Switch and other handheld consoles and mobile phones too have the default option of being 60 Hz only. Yeah, that's a sad life of being a mobile gamer. But lastly, we have the screen resolution. Currently it's set to 50% of original screen resolution. If you want to bump up the quality, we can always just do that right here. And as always, if you are done with your changes, we can hit save. And now our Call of Duty have customized performance, meaning that it will run for basically like the best settings there are. Obviously, there are other settings, for example, the in-game panel, which lets you customize the shortcuts, and the reorder tools. We can modify the behavior of the pop-up applications, like the YouTube, the phone, the gallery, whatever. We can also change the screenshot resolution. So if you can see that your screenshots are actually worse than original pictures, you want to make sure that the screenshot resolution is set to 100%. And lastly, we have the notifications, which basically allow the game booster to, you know, send you notifications. And that's about all for this video. However, keep in mind that even though we just changed the game booster settings themselves, most of the settings are in the game itself. So if I would have installed the, you know, Call of Duty, and if I would open it and go into the settings, you would see how big of a list there are. Like, you can basically modify the shadows, the quality of the textures, the frames per second also. You can modify everything, and these are just the things that you don't have the access through the phone itself. So you want to basically go into the game that you want to boost performance and just check the settings. If you can, for example, bump up the shadow quality, or bump up the FPS, or bump up anything else. And yeah, now that's all for this video. If you found it useful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.